G'day there guys, it's your Aussie Hubby Markee, back at it again with another r/EntitledParents video. Now if you love me like I love you, then you know what to do. I want you to mosey on over to that old like button and tackle it like Crocodile Dundee. Maybe even chuck an Aussie flag down in the comments. Now with that said, I want you to sit back, relax, chuck a prawn on the barbie, and get ready for some bloody Karens. Now our first post today is by user Jail Cops, titled Karen demanded I break her son out of jail. So, some quick background. I work in a county jail, and I'm the guy you want working the floor, housing units and roving. I'm pretty good at dealing with talking to the inmates, and I'm even better when we're past the point of talking. That being said, every officer is required to work a guard station at least once a month, even me. These stations are just dealing with the public, answering phones and or opening and closing doors. Okay, cool. On one such guard station shift, Karen storms in. She's a southern kind of Karen. Totally unkempt hair, ratty clothes, and at least 5 missing teeth. A criminal record that's largely drug-related charges, you know the type. She marches into my lobby, and up to my bulletproof window. I hit the intercom, and the following conversation ensues. I say to her, "Can I help you?" And she says, "My son, entitled kid, needs to be released right now. He's served his time and needs to come home." I look up the entitled kid on the jail computer. I say, "Ma'am, he's got a holdout of blah blah county. He'll have to go to court and serve time there first." "No, he needs to be released now. His time here is done. He can go to blah blah county after he comes home." Me, already over it, say, "Ma'am, this isn't a hotel. The law requires that he's in custody until he answers for the crimes that he's charged with. If I release entitled kid, I will be fired and arrested." "Aren't you supposed to serve and protect?" "Yes, I am, ma'am. Entitled kid was charged with domestic assault and has felony charges in blah blah county. Keeping him in custody serves and protects the community." "How dare you? My son is a good boy and he doesn't deserve this. The other inmates are threatening him. What are you going to do to serve and protect him?" Me, suppressing a grin, says, "Well, ma'am, I'll go ahead and make an announcement to the other inmates to leave him alone, and that he called his mother and that she's not happy with their behavior. I'm sure that won't put him in any danger." "I demand to speak with your supervisor." Me, knowing that Sarge is about the last guy that you want to piss off, say, "It would be my pleasure to let you speak to my supervisor." Sarge arrives and asks Karen what the issue is. She rants and raves for about 15, I kid you not, minutes, about her sweet boy being wrongfully incarcerated, my behavior, how entitled kid is in danger, and he's served his time. She concluded that if we didn't release entitled kid, she would raise hell in the lobby. At this point, Sarge raises an eyebrow in a look that I know pretty well. It's a look that means, "I'm genuinely impressed that you're this stupid." He says, "I remember you. You've been in jail before. Wonder where entitled kid got it." Karen goes to rant again, and Sarge cuts her off. "So much as a fart in my lobby, jail cops are going to arrest you on disorderly. Every officer was deputized, and I have been through police academy and patrol to boot. Entitled kid is going to pay for what he's done on our schedule, not yours and certainly not his. You are going to leave my jail and never come back. If you ever come back here again, you'll be charged with criminal trespass. Now, why don't you go outside and play hide and go screw yourself?" Karen doesn't even think about mouthing off again. She all but runs out of the lobby. Sarge and I have a laugh about it later. Amazingly, Karen never filed any complaints. Not that this would have got her anywhere. This is how the South do. Alright, and with that done, we're on to our next post by GamerGuy3D. Gang signs. This happened a while ago. I was eating at a Burger King with my family and wearing a hoodie, which is important for later. I was 15 at the time when an entitled mother and her kid, who was not entitled, sat down with some food. I was talking with my brother and he showed me a Minecraft house that he built and I was impressed. So I pulled out this "okay" sign, as a sign of appreciation, you know? So I took a big bite out of my double whopper, when my dad needed to go to the restroom, so he left to go. And the entitled mother came and gave me a "What are you doing?" "Eating." "You pulled a gang sign." Ma'am, entitled mother interrupts me. "I saw that gang sign. I don't want you to teach my little son gang signs. The kid looked as this was normal behavior. He looked embarrassed. He looked about 10. Me, who feels bad for the kid. Ma'am, I'm not using gang signs. Everyone uses it. Only gang members do that. An employee that looks 19 was minding her own business when the entitled mother looks at her. You, do young people use this gang sign? Pulls up, gang sign? Employee's like, yeah? So? So, kick this kid out for teaching my angel gang signs. The kid finishes the last of his kid's meal quickly and says, we should go, Mum. Honey, Mummy is getting some justice. Looks at me. I'm gonna get you in jail. Manager comes over and is like, what's going on here? The employee's like, this lady is complaining that this guy is using gang signs. Ma'am, what sign did he use? This. Gah. The manager then laughs. That is a regular sign. Employee says, I know, right? Entitled mother says, let's go, honey. We don't need to see these gang members. And she storms off. Manager tells me that she's sorry that she thinks teens with hoodies are gang members. Oh, okay. Sorry about that. He then gave me and my family a free dessert of choice for having to go through that. Well, that went well, in the end at least. Hope you enjoy my story and wash your hands. Edit, I was wearing a black hoodie with some black jeans, and apparently I joined a bad gang. Don't want to be messing around with them now, do ya? Now our next post is by The Rumour Hargreaves, titled, Entitled Mother Doesn't Know How Grocery Shopping Works. So I was hoping my entitled aunt would be the only stupid person I submitted here, but alas, stupid people are everywhere. Sorry for any mistakes, I screwed up my thumb, so typing is weird. Careful in the kitchen, kiddos. So I was doing a run to Walmart about a week ago now, and it was going surprisingly smoothly. Waiting to check out took a while, but I finally found chicken broth, so I wasn't bothered. Lots of the stories here have been about shopping horrors, and I was feeling pretty great. Mistakes all around. Once the person in front of me was done, I loaded up the belt thingy. I'm very short and my cart was in the way, so I couldn't quite reach the back of the conveyor, which is fine, because I still had half a cart full of stuff. In comes entitled mother. The cart was between us, which maintained some distance, but she started to load all of her crap before I had a chance to pass the halfway mark on mine. I asked her to please wait, and all I got was, I have more things than you, so I should go first. Since you were rude enough to go before me, I won't let you slow my day down further. She had been nowhere close to me, but I asked if she'd tried to get my attention. Could have been spacing. I had an earbud in and tend to be a little stupid. Entitled mother literally snorted and said that I should have asked if she wanted to go in front of me since she was a mother. I saw no child, so I'll have to take her word for it. She turned everything into a huge clusterfuck, and used it to try to get me to pay for her groceries too, since they're all mixed up and it would be so much faster. The cashier was obviously used to this. She only looked up once to assess the situation, and since it didn't seem like we were coming to blows, she just kept going. Kept our stuff separated too. I wanted to high-five her, but I wish I had done something cooler, but I just gave entitled mother the death stare my mum taught me to use against my dad, and she finally left me alone. I just don't get why people can't be normal human beings right now. Stay safe, everyone. Alright, and our next post is by Super Blooper Boss, titled, Entitled Mother Demands We Stop Eating. Annoying Mum Demands We Stop Eating. So this is a short story, but I still wanted to share it. For some backstory, it was my cousin's birthday, and she wanted to go eat at a Texas roadhouse. It's kinda like the Longhorn Steakhouse, if any of you know what that is, but with country music and sports. The one I went to was a private room with no windows, other than the one with the view to the city. The room had just enough space for one party at a time, so we were the only ones there. We were eating for a long time because of the birthday, but then I saw her. Enter the entitled parent. Our cast are me, mum, dad, auntie 1, auntie 2, uncle, entitled parent, manager, the birthday girl, and my other cousin, and my big brother. So, I saw the entitled parent walk up to the table briskly. She had a bright pink purse and what looked like a clear Axe bottle spray filled with something. Her 2 kids, who seemed about 8 to 10 years old, walked in tow. Entitled parent says, "Hello, are you the people that have been eating for an hour?" My dad says, yes, it's cousin one's birthday and we're waiting for desserts. Entitled parent says, me and my kids are very hungry, please leave now. I had a reservation for this room and I have been waiting for an hour. We knew that this was total BS, because when we booked, the room said we were going to be there for at least 2 hours. So I say, just wait, it's packed today, but please leave us alone. Shut up, brat, you're just selfish, and you don't want my babies to eat. Everyone but me, my dad, my brother, and my cousin started whispering to each other. My bro's like, please just leave us alone so we can celebrate her birthday. The entitled parent storms off, and the 10-year-old apologized for her mum. We thought that was it, but right when dessert came to the table is when entitled parent stormed over. Eat quickly. Dad's like, leave us alone or I'll get management. Entitled parent reached for her clear bottle. She then stated that it was a spray bottle of vinegar and said that if we don't leave at that moment, that she'll spray us. You would think it's not that bad, but apple cider vinegar is not that nice. Dad's like, we're not leaving. Entitled parent then starts spraying. We all got up and ran for management, but my dad fought back. When the manager came over, he saw my dad having entitled parent pinned to the ground, and the bottle far away on the floor. Manager's like, what is happening? She tried to spray up. This man tried to take advantage of me, then beat me up. Entitled parent's 2 kids stepped in. Kid 1's like, no, that's not true. He looked 10 years old. Kid 2's like, mummy tried to force them to stop eating. Manager's like, is this true? And we all agreed. Entitled parent started denying it, so then the manager brought us to the camera room and she was forced to watch as she was proved wrong. The kid's dad was called and he picked them up. The cops were called and asked if we wanted to press charges. My dad said yes and we went on with the dessert. The manager already took the desserts and got us fresh ones. The entire meal was free and he apologized for the accident. We also saw people leave because of the smell that was mixed in with a bottle of the vinegar. This may seem fake, but I assure you, this was not. The experience sucked, but at the end we got a free meal. My family still jokes about it, and it's something we'll never forget. I still can't believe that happened. Alright, and our next post is by L4TT3M4CC14T0, or more graciously known as Latte Macchiato. Titled, Entitled Mother Thinks It's Okay for Her Entitled Brat to Stalk and Attack Me. Mobile warning and English warning, yada yada, you know the drill. This story was from about a month ago, and I only got reminded by it because the entitled brat and her boy toy are fudging around near my boyfriend's house. And it's my cake day, so screw it, I'm posting it. EB entitled brat / yada. Hey, I don't care about your own privacy anymore, so screw you. EM, tramp daughter creator. EK, entitled brother's older sister. M is my mum, BF is hubby, and me is me. So in the past, I wrote multiple stories about the entitled brat or yada, and how she would continuously harass and stalk me to the point that I didn't feel safe without a knife. In the meantime, I had called and visited the police multiple times with digital and physical proof of stuff that she did to me, and after 3 months, they decided to get off their lazy asses and force a restraining order upon her. I have more stories about her, but now we're here for the demon summoner herself, the entitled mother. When my boyfriend and I were dropped off by my father-in-law, we met the entitled mother and her 2 demon spawns, entitled brat and entitled kid. They gave us dirty looks, and to be honest, it took the biggest effort to not simply give a friendly wave. But because we had better things to do, we went on our merry way. This part of the story is told by my mum, so I don't have any dialogue. So my mum was shopping in the same store. Entitled mother entered, and crap hit the fan. As soon as entitled mother saw my mum, she verbally attacked her, saying that I'm a lying piece of crap and whatnot, and threatening to kick my ass, as I don't have a restraining order against her, the entitled mother. My mum, being the smarter one, and knowing that she's lying, simply told entitled mother that her entitled brat is the one lying, simply because I have both video and screenshots as proof. My mum simply turned around and went on with her shopping, but not without the entitled mother, entitled kid, and entitled brat following her and throwing insults at her. My mum was done with it, and scanned her stuff and went to a different supermarket. But the entitled mother and her brain-dead family followed her. This went on, according to my mum, for about 3 stores, until my mum had it, and just went to her car and drove back home, but not without the entitled mother tailing her on her way home. It was not until my mum grabbed her phone to dial 112 that entitled mother made a U-turn and sped off. Sadly, no exiting ending as the police is once again not doing their work. Alrighty, now with that story done, we're on to our next post by I Fear Bears, titled, Entitled Mother Stole My Autistic Brother's Toy. I genuinely can't believe I'm writing this. People are so fudging unbelievable sometimes. So my brother is 7 and he has autism. He's extremely shy/quiet and always carries around a stuffed giraffe that my aunt bought him when he was a baby. It has his initials embroidered on its back leg. He squeezes it when he's scared or upset. My parents' jobs are still open, so they're at work from around 8 AM to 5:30 PM. I'm 18 and my school is online, and I have been temporarily laid off from my job, so I'm home all day with my brother. I've been doing all the grocery shopping, and because my brother isn't old enough to stay at home, he comes along with me. Today we had to go to Walmart because we ran out of some food that we needed. My brother was walking behind me while I pushed the cart. We walked past a woman and a kid about my brother's age after we checked out, and I didn't think anything of it until I heard my brother start sniffling. I turned around to look at him and he started full-blown crying, and that's when I noticed that his giraffe was gone. I asked him if he knew where it went, and he just pointed back to where we came from. So we retraced our steps, and I looked around for it. A few aisles later, we came across the woman and the kid again. The kid had the giraffe and he was beating it against the shelves as he walked. When my brother saw this, he started crying harder, because he treats his giraffe like it's made of glass. I put him in the cart and walked over to the woman. This is basically how it went. I say to her, "I'm sorry, I think your kid took my brother's stuffed giraffe. Could he have it back?" "No, it belongs to my son." "It's definitely my brother's. His initials are on the back leg. He's autistic and it means a lot to him, so please give it back." "Well, if it is his, he should hold on to it tighter. It's not my problem that he's too stupid to hold on to his crap." She started walking away after this, so I just went up to her kid and grabbed it out of his hands. The minute entitled mother heard it, she whipped around and started screaming about how I assaulted her kid and that she was going to have me arrested for theft and call CPS for my brother. I was fudging livid, but I thought if I said anything else she might get physical, and I didn't want my brother to see that. I gave him his giraffe back, and we got the hell out of there before she could try anything. Edit, thank you for the awards. Edit 2, we all want you to know Splotch, his giraffe, is happy and currently having giraffe nap time. Aw, that's cute. Alright, and our next post is by user Decompression Illness, titled, Entitled Mother Aggressively Suggests I Hand Over My Switch because I'm a university student who should be working. So, I've been off university for a while due to the current pandemic, and elected to go home rather than isolate alone in my university's halls. As such, I've been able to save some money on petrol and decided to buy a Switch while in lockdown for something to do. Half was paid by me, the other half was paid by my twin. This saved us money as Switches, not the Lite version, are currently going for £100 more than their usual price due to high demand. Yesterday I was sat in my front yard, with the Switch, talking to my father who was cleaning his car. I offered to help, but he declined, so I spent half an hour keeping him company while playing Cyber Sleuth. The current lockdown rules in the UK mean that someone can only leave their house for daily exercise, shopping for essentials, or key workers needing to go to work. Entitled Mother has 3 children, 2 of which were with her when they returned from their daily walk yesterday. We've always been on friendly terms with the family, so she stopped and said hello before the following conversation happened. She comes and says, "Is that one of those Switch things? Jacob has been nagging me for one, but I can't find one anywhere that isn't fairly priced." Yes, it was a nightmare getting hold of this one. Chris and I had to buy it between us to save money. "Can I buy it off you? I had £300 saved for one. You can go looking for another on eBay." "No, sorry. This one cost £410 between us. I wouldn't sell it for £100 less. Not even a week after purchase. Plus we do in fact want to play on it. Why does the extra £100 matter when you get money from the government anyway? You mean my student maintenance loan that I had to live on, and the further £130 that I saved each week from doing a part-time bar work? The Switch was bought with money from my job. Not that that should matter. I've already told you once that I'm not selling it to you. You shouldn't have a Switch anyway. University students are supposed to work, not play kids games. I think it would be better if my son had the game and you started working. At this point, she started moving closer to me. Look, I think it would be better if I stopped talking to you. So I got up and walked towards my front door. Entitled Mother looked like she was going to follow me, but thought better of it when she spotted our neighbor looking through the window to see what was going on. Entitled Mother glared at me for a few seconds before turning and walking away. I gave her a cheerful wave and returned to my house. Never thought I'd catch one in the wild, let alone it be a usually friendly neighbor. Alright, and our next post is by user Bronze Butterfly, titled, "You need to stop making plans for your birthday because I have plans for your birthday." TLDR, entitled father wants me to cancel my birthday plans so he can take me to a birthday dinner and take pictures of it to show off. So this is another tale about my entitled father. This was a few days before my second last birthday spent with his family. I left the following year. The whole family was in the supermarket getting some groceries. You know, the usual crap. Knowing full well that they wouldn't get me anything for my birthday and barely even acknowledge it, I decided that I was going to buy a small cake and a one-person bottle of green apple vodka, my favorite kind. I mentioned that these were going to be my birthday treats and that I had plans to just stay in my room and watch movies with them. He immediately starts getting huffy and starts hinting that I shouldn't make any plans for my birthday at all. Upon questioning him, he refused to let me know exactly why that was. I knew full well he wasn't the type to throw me any sort of surprise party, so I knew it wouldn't be that. Me and my paranoid self, I later realized that was more common sense than paranoia, kept wondering what he would be up to. He promised to pay for my driving lessons, and he never did that. He promised to buy me a certain thing for a Christmas gift. He didn't do that. Why would I actually expect him to keep his word this time? My birthday comes and I emerge from my lair to go and make a sandwich, or something for breakfast. After all, unlike the others, I don't get a fancy breakfast, so that was also something else I did not expect. When I turn the corner, him and the rest of the bitches are all there with completely insincere smiles on their faces, cheering and shouting, "Happy birthday, OP! Get the hell away from me!" It immediately puts me even more on edge than I normally am around them. What do they want from me? I feel no happiness at all from this pseudo-display of happiness from them. My stepmother says they want to take me out to dinner for that day and told me to choose a place. Hesitantly, I did, but the place was closed, so we ended up going to my second choice of place. I got to order what I wanted, and I chose the cheapest thing because I was still wary of them, and mostly enjoyed it. They took pictures, we go home and pretend all is well. A few days later, I see pictures on his social media of the birthday dinner, saying that he treated me that day because of my essentially forced, unpaid, unappreciated care of my recently deceased entitled grandmother. She was another set of frickery altogether. I may post about her one day. Oh, okay then, now I finally knew his real motives. He just wanted to look good and flex on his friends and other family members, especially the ones that he didn't really like. Of course. And our next post is by user HollyHeart1, titled, "My girlfriend's parents threatened to come to my house if we didn't break up." So my girlfriend and I have been dating for over a month, closer to 2 months by now. We're a lesbian couple, my mum is alright with it of course, my dad's iffy. He's got a you do you attitude and I appreciate it. Her parents on the other hand, where do I even begin? Her mum's a pathological liar. When girlfriend and I had just started dating, and we're still hiding it from them, I had invited her to my birthday celebration. Her mum told her that my mum called to let her know it was cancelled. You see, the problem with that is she doesn't have my mum's number. I contacted her directly. Later that day, my state's lockdown order was issued. Instead of sending a text to tell me, her mum straight up called and rubbed it in my face. I don't know if you heard, but there's a lockdown. Girlfriend's name can't go, and it pretty much shut down your party for you. Yes, she actually said that. When my girlfriend came out to her parents, they told her that she was just going through a phase. They then said that because we haven't done anything romantic, we're not a real couple. 1. What can we even do right now? And 2. Hugs, kisses and chocolate is not her love language. Her parents then told her that if she continues to see me, they'll take away everything she owns, so she has no way of communicating with me. They even said they'll come to my house to yell at me. Little do her parents know that my entire family is full of aggressive jerks who aren't afraid to cut a tramp, or in this case, scream at one. Her dad is denying her lesbianism entirely. Girlfriend has pretty much nothing to do right now, so she stares out the window. Honestly, can relate. One of her neighbors passed by and her dad said, "Staring at boys again, I see." He was in college, she's not even a senior in high school. He claims I'm a bad influence and I'm teaching her bad habits. I have never even met the guy. He won't even give me a chance. But anyway, right now we're still dating. I'm using a fake account pretending to be a guy so we can date secretly. I'll update if anything goes wrong. Also, sorry for the semi-clickbait title. Update: this morning her mum tried to drag her to a post office, and when girlfriend refused, her mum called her a tramp and a brat, and said she wishes she could hit her. Crap's hitting the fan, y'all. Alrighty, and our next post is by user Sub to Dead Meat. We read a story from them yesterday, titled "Ultra Religious Aunt Embarrasses Everyone by Insulting Relative for Wearing a Tank Top." Hey guys, I'll be translating this post from Arabic to English, so I'm sorry if some translations seem off. Backstory: entitled auntie is an ultra-religious Muslim who almost killed me because of my religious affiliation, and I already posted that story. And that's actually the first time entitled auntie has been out in her place. Introducing the cast: EA, entitled aunt, NU, nice uncle, OP, yours truly, and PR, poor relative. It was a nice hot summer afternoon in Australia. We were having a nice family reunion in the backyard, cooking meat on the grill, and relaxing with each other. Poor relative, who was 15 at the time, and I were talking and catching up, when out of nowhere, entitled auntie pops out, and says, "Aren't you a little young to be wearing this outfit?" Excuse me? Keep in mind that poor relative was wearing a tank top because the temperature was 30 degrees Celsius out there. You look like a tramp in that tank top. She decided to crank it up to 100. "Ma'am, it's 30 degrees out here." Entitled auntie started yelling the second I opened my mouth. "I don't remember asking you for your fudging opinion, you Wiccan. Please ma'am, it's so hot out here, so I would really appreciate it if you would— Don't you have any respect, you tramp? You are disrespecting your religion and I by wearing these trampy clothes." At this point, the entire neighborhood was hearing us argue. Entitled auntie had a reputation for embarrassing my grandpa after arguing about religion with his neighbors, so I had to calm the situation down, so that we won't get the cops called on us. I say, "Please ma'am, I'm begging you to stop making a scene every time someone does something that you don't necessarily agree with." At this point, entitled auntie tried to slap poor relative, but luckily her husband, nice uncle, stopped her before she did. And she says, "Why aren't you letting me punish her? She is disrespecting us and our religion." "Because you're hitting someone for doing what they want?" Poor relative, who was a Christian, started yelling too. "Take her to a fudging mental institution. She's clinically insane." That's enough, you guys. Especially entitled auntie. Stop making a fuss like a 2-year-old whenever you see something that you disagree with. Now entitled auntie was trying to hit me because, why not? And at this point, nice uncle snapped. "I've had enough of you, entitled auntie. You have to produce religious tension every time you go to a family reunion. You have always been embarrassing me and my son because someone believes in a different religion. I am sick and tired of this bullcrap. If you do this to anyone one more time, you and I are gonna have a serious discussion." At last, entitled auntie has been put in her place for what seemed like the last time, and she shut up for the rest of the day. Before everyone left for their homes, nice uncle came and apologized for his wife's actions, and he promised us that this was the last time entitled auntie will act like this, and he delivered on his promises until he died 2 years later. After he died, entitled auntie got married to a man from the United Arab Emirates and began acting like she did before nice uncle died. In the end, it took one wedding with many problems to put her in her place for good. And they say this is the last of their entitled auntie stories. R.I.P. a legend. You'll never be forgotten, nice uncle. You're a good man, buddy. Anyway guys, that's all we have for today's r/EntitledParents episode. If you enjoy it, make sure to tell me what you liked about this one, what you didn't like, what you hate about me, and what you love about me. And don't forget to put a kangaroo, or a wallaby, or a koala, or a Steve Owen down in the comments. Whatever floats your boat and your goat. Hope you guys have a good day, night sleep, whatever you're up to, and I'll see you in the next episode, guys. Bye!